Hi guys, here you see me with a brush going in to finish off this painting. And I am using a brush because I like a lot of texture and like wood and stuff like that. And just using the airbrush, it would take me forever to get all the little textures in there. So I'm not doing it exactly like you see on the photo. I'm using airbrush paint, and I'm just barely dabbing it into my brush, and then I'm laying it on a cloth to let a lot of it soak up. And then I'm coming back in with just the like little bits of paint and going over it, then letting it dry, and then going back over in areas to darken it up a little bit. And then I'm squeezing my brush out on a towel, and then I'll go back in and it will have hints of like yellow because I used burnt sienna. And then I also used a dark acrylic paint, just regular, craft acrylic paint. And I'm trying not to be too thick here because it kind of takes away from the airbrush look when you do this, but it also like pops that out and gives it a lot of texture. And it's okay to you. I mean, to each his own. If you want to use the airbrush and put in all these textures and things, then you can, it's to everybody's preference. This is just how I'm doing it. And it gives you also a really sharp, like it's totally in focus. And I kind of like that. Here I'm just using my Mars eraser, and I'm going in and just erasing out some places where I want a bit more of highlights. I'm kind of looking at the reference, but I'm not following it exactly. I'm just kind of letting it where it looks like it needs it, or where the paint has laid, and it looks like that I can come around and do some texture there. Then that I'm kind of following the lay of what the brush did. So you just let it do your work for you. You don't try to look at the photo and be precise, because it's art. And do your own thing. I mean, the bird is quite real looking like the photo, but the other, you gotta change it up a bit. Here I'm using a little bit of black and coming back in and darkening some areas, just touching here and there, not a whole bunch, just letting it lay where it wants to grab hold. And this is kind of I guess you could relate it to dry brushing, but it's just kind of letting it grab where it wants to. You're hearing some banging probably, but I have a piece of wood outside my shop that just keeps blowing. It's super windy today. Super windy, so it's just blowing all over the place. And here I'm taking a little bit of that. It's not black. It's like a really deep violet color. Oops. I think no, it's like a phthalo green. I'm sorry. Got confused for a minute there. So I have to go to the doctor today and not looking forward to it. But that's just one of those things. This will finish up this tutorial, and then we are moving on to, someone asked me to do a step-by-step of the chrome airbrush lettering that I had did back, I don't know, a month or two ago, and so I thought I would do a step-by-step with that. It's a little bit different than the first one, but you'll get the gist. I did kind of make a mistake on it, but I'll show it to you when I put it up. But it will be next. It's already done. Just need to format the video and get it up. And here is a picture of the completed. Oh no, I'm going to work on the bird, I think. Yeah. Going to try to make it a little bit more realistic, like the feathers. There's some feathers that at the tips of it looks blue instead of white, so I'm kind of dulling out those white lines a little bit, and then I'm adding in some deeper color into the bird's eye there, and I'm using a brush for this. Go figure. You can do that. You don't have to just stick to the airbrush. I will say one thing. When you are working with a brush over top of airbrush work, it's best to have let that painting set overnight. And then when you are working with a brush over airbrush work, you cannot keep swiping it in the same place. Like when we're so used to blending, you cannot do that. You have to swipe one time, that's it, because it's not going to take another time or two, or you're going to pull off the paint that's underneath. And you'll see I did that a little bit with the brush right there, but I came in with a little bit of yellow and went back over top of that, and it blended it right in. And I'm darkening that beak up a little bit, and the feathers underneath there just make it pop out a little bit more. And it did, so it's looking more like the actual photo now. Now I could have just did it with airbrush, but sometimes I just want to be precise, and we never know from time to time what our airbrush is going to do. I mean, mine sometimes will just blow out, and it just ruins my artwork, and I didn't want to do that. So now I know it looks like I'm going over and over and over with the brush on this painting, but I'm really not, because I pieced this video together, so I've let it set, and I don't want you to think you can just come right in with the brush and start brushing it everywhere and it be okay. No, you cannot. So with that said, now what you can do and not do. And I'm making some little dark lines in there on that beak like it was up above. And I will remove the photo here in just a minute. And I got carried away a little bit and had some overspray that hit off to the side of the bird. So I'm going to cover that up with a stencil and try to spray some blue back in there. Now I could do white first, and I thought about it, but to be honest, this blue is so light that I thought that it would cover right up over the little bit of airbrush spray that I got, or of green. Man, I can't talk. And it did pretty good, so I was happy with it. There was one area I had to spray a little bit of a white, not bright white, but just a little bit of white to cover the green. And then I shaded over it. And down below, I think I seen where there's a little bit more dark blue, and I didn't want that, so I came back in and covered it up and sprayed it out. So it gives it more of a, I'm standing in the air. Look at me. I'm so pretty and beautiful and colorful. I'd seen this bird and just had to paint it because I was like, man, look at all those colors. This reminds me of spring, which I'm so ready for. So ready for. And I'm just kind of touching here and there with the blue to darken in certain areas so it looks like the sky's, going by. And I know you probably can't see it too much on the video, but it looks like a moving sky, And hey, I just thought I'd ask what you guys protect your artwork with, if it's on synthetic paper, if you spray it with anything or if you just frame it. Because I'm not used to working on synthetic paper. This is, I think, my second one. I have another order to do with a Mercury Cougar car, which will, after the demo of the chrome lettering, be the next tutorial. And I'm probably going to put it on I think I'm putting it on metal because that's what I'm used to working on. Not even going to try synthetic paper. I mean, I like it. It's just, I don't know. It's just not my thing, I guess. I have no idea what I'm doing down there. I think I'm just trying to... Oh, I was fixing the leaves down at the bottom. I was kind of spraying in where there was some overspray, a little bit of overspray. And I'm just doing it freehand now. Somebody is mowing their yard already. Spring is coming. I woke up this morning and the Baltimore Bridge had been collapsed. It was all over the news. It was horrible. I watched a video and seen some cars go down, and I was very, very just horrified by it. Can you imagine going all over a bridge like that because a boat runs into it and then trying to get out? And I had just looked at one of those, what do they call them? They're little metal things that pop the window and break the window out so you can get out if you go in the water. It had a seatbelt cutter on one end and a metal puncher in the next. And here's the finished video. Thank you for watching. And come back for the next